I just wanted to make a video because I see a lot of fighting in a community that, I haven't always been a part of, but a community that my heart desires to be a strong part of. So I want to make a video and put my perspective out there, put, you know, how I see it out there, because I've seen a lot of fighting and a lot of people thinking that they are absolutely correct because they have studied and they know one side of the story really, really well. And they're right. They are very much correct in their knowledge. But they are so incorrect in the knowledge that they don't know. And it's that knowledge that they don't know that causes problems, And oh my goodness, I want to let y'all know my perspective and, kind of what you're getting if you are working with me, if you're ever a client of mine, where I get my perspectives. So where does it come from? It all comes from God, honestly. It all comes from the Most High. He's the one that gave me this life. He's the one that continues to give me breath. He's the one that gave me my heart's desires. He's the one that set the stars in place. He also gave us a mind to learn the stars and to study the stars. So it all starts with God, with me anyway. So there's that. But in order for me to tell you my perspective and where I'm coming from and why I think that why I think that the true astrology is what the true astrology is. There. I think that's how I can say it. So, okay. Oh my goodness. Where do I start? I always start way too soon, and I'm just going to start there. So, I'll start with my childhood. I was a child the first time I ever studied astrology, and I don't know why. I have intense desires to study different subjects, and I just study them completely in depth. I just go so far deep with my studies, and then I lose interest and move on to another thing. So I was a child whenever I first had my inclination to study astrology, and I wasn't allowed to study astrology. I was taught that astrology is evil, astrology is bad, so it kind of made it more fun. I was a rebel. I have a rebel heart, and you tell me not to, and I have to. So I studied Western astrology really, really, really in depth, and I ran into someone who practices Sidereal astrology, Vedic astrology, and I could tell that they thought that they were better than me in their knowledge. So once again, this fed the hunger. I have to learn all I can about Vedic astrology. Oh, this led into years of learning about Eastern religion, Eastern philosophy, Eastern thought, studying Eastern scriptures, because I knew all of my background. I knew the Western background very well. I didn't know the Eastern. So that moved me away from astrology for a while. Fast forward in my life, I stray away from Christianity, but then I come back and I repent of all that stuff. I feel awful. Astrology is now evil. All astrology. Western, Eastern, whatever. Although, during my time of studying Eastern philosophy and wisdom, I did have the honor and privilege of working with a wonderful, what I would call a Vedic mystic, a woman who taught me a lot about Vedic and Sidereal astrology. So I did have that honor and privilege before I fell away from astrology and back into Christianity, and I don't know, guys. I don't know how to explain it, but a couple years ago, after going through a lot of hardships and not wanting to live, honestly, finding my way back to my heart, back to my will to live, my want to live. It wasn't easy. And astrology came in and helped me out. And this time it was Western astrology. And well, no, it started with, I was like, didn't God put the stars in the sky? And that led me to Sidereal astrology, because Western astrology, tropical astrology, is not where the sun actually is right now. It's not where the moon actually is. It's not where the planets actually are. They're making those aspects in both types of astrology, but it's not where they actually are. So I studied where they actually were, and just my heart is with the stars, you guys. I can't deny that. My heart is with the stars, and in finding my life, I figured that out, and I've always loved God. I'll always love God. And so I figured out that basically I was led to tropical astrology kind of out of my will, because it was like, no, Sidereal is the only real, Vedic is real astrology, all the tropicals are liars, horoscopes are wrong, all that stuff is wrong, it's just all wrong. And with that attitude, God showed me, and he helped pick me up using Western astrology. And of course this caused confusion and doubt within me. Somehow Western astrology is helping me find my path, find my way out of my darkness, find my way back to light, although I know that only Sidereal astrology is true, and as I've been in so many dark nights of the souls, you guys. I have permanent tears in my eyes. I wear with pride. These are my badges of years of trial and tribulation. That's my badges of trial and tribulation, tears, all kinds of tears, cried. Yeah. So out of my dark night of the soul, what helped lead me out was tropical Western astrology, and following the steps and the days as I felt God led the teachers that taught me. So with that, it causes confusion, it causes doubt. What's going on here? I want to know the truth. So again, with that deep diving mind that I have, where if I want to find it out, I'm gonna find it out. And with that, I prayed and I asked for answers. I need answers. What is the true astrology? Is Vedic astrology the true astrology, or is tropical astrology the true astrology? Is it Sidereal or is it Western? Tell me. And I just trusted that I would get the answers. I trusted and believed, because I always do get the answers. If I pray and I beg, I get the answers. Not necessarily whenever I want, but always whenever I need. And I did. You guys, I got the answers. And that's how I'm able to lead and help the people that I am able to lead and help with my astrology services. Because I have that surety now. I got my answers. I now know that the true astrology is obviously tropical, because that's the one that I use. No, no. The true astrology is the astrology. Yes. Vedic is true. Yes, Sidereal is true. And yes, tropical is true. They're tools, and they're true, and they're right. And they're given to us by God. God's the one that helped us find the meanings and the stuff like that. Man did a lot of that too. But okay. So here's how it was broke down to me. Okay? Vedic astrology, sidereal astrology, where the planets are actually right now, that is feminine. That is the feminine source. That is where we have been and where we are at. That's what you can see with Vedic sidereal astrology. You see where you've been and where you're at. What about where you've been gives you what you're at now? And with that information, you can change the future. You can make yourself a better future, you know? So it's feminine, it's receptive, it's about what we are, where we've been, what we can have. Because if you know where you've been, why you were able to have what you could have, then you're able to figure out how you can get more, you know? So a lot like that. That's Vedic astrology. It's true. It's real. It affects you every single day. Where the planets are affects you. Now, what is tropical astrology? And this is where my heart is, guys. This is why I use tropical, because this is where my heart is. Tropical is masculine. It's the masculine astrology. And it's logical. And it's mathematical. You use math and geometry to figure out the positions, and with that, you can plan your future by knowing where the sun is tropically today and working with that energy today. I am literally placing into the future that energy. That's what tropical astrology shows us. What future vibe we're creating today. It shows us the future and where we are, where we're at right now. This is where you're starting from, and this is the future you're trying to make. And this is why it's with my heart, because I am a math nerd, guys. I'm such a big math nerd. I do calculus problems for fun. That's relaxation for me. That's a game, a fun game. It's a calculus problem. Help me solve something mathematically. That's awesome. And it's all about geometry, math, algebra, numbers. Literally, the tropical astrology sings to me. It sings to me. And whenever it sings to me, and whenever I see you guys' charts, what I see is I see the higher possibility that you could step into. And I see everything that's holding you back. I see your fears. I see your wounds. I see what is holding you back, you know, why you won't take that step. And you know what I do? I confirm to you that you're right in wanting to take that step, that you're right in fearing it's scary. And I help you overcome that fear, and I help you overcome those wounds so that you can step into your higher timeline, which is what tropical astrology shows us. And if you need more further help, I've helped many people using Vedic astrology, help you figure out your past more so that you can really understand and step into that higher timeline. That's what I'm in the business of doing, guys. I'm in the business of helping people find their higher timeline and step into it with confidence. So that's what I do. That's what I do with astrology. If you want to call it evil, you want to say that it's wrong, you want to say only Vedic is real, only tropical is real, y'all have your arguments. I'm not in that. Even though I want to be in the astrology community, I haven't been in this community my whole life. I've been out of it. And it was a shock and a surprise to me to figure out that you guys fight over that. You guys fight over which one's real. You guys, it's time to unite. It's time to love. Who's more real, the man or the woman? You tell me.